Hello, I'm Melvin Yates with Grady Properties in Chevy Chase, Maryland. We are a full-service property management company servicing the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Today we're going to talk about how to avoid unpaid or late rent in rental properties in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Is to have a policy, a rental policy, and stick with it. Meaning if rent's due on the 1st and it's late after the 5th, that you file for eviction or do whatever, take whatever court process necessary on the fixed day of the month, say the 15th or 20th of the month, and you stick with it. So that way the very first time the tenants are late, regardless of the reason, emergency, what have you, you're just doing the process that you need to do. You're doing your in-house process. And if that means it happened on the 15th or the 20th of the month, that's when it happens. If they're able to pay it before you end up in court or before the sheriff show up, then that's even better. But at least you're following your system and they know you're serious after the first time. Another way to avoid unpaid rent or late rent is by giving purchase credits or rent credits to the tenants. And that way you can encourage on-time payments. When they pay the rent on time, if it's a lease option, that is, or rent to own, then when they pay rent on time, they get a credit. And then that way you can encourage those on-time payments. Another way is by allowing multiple payment types. A lot of landlords I talk to only accept money orders, or they only accept checks or what have you. They only accept it by mail. Allow multiple payment types. Allow them to make direct deposit. Allow them to pay with a credit card. Those nowadays it's easy to set up, say a PayPal or some other merchant account where it's very easy, where tenants can pay by any means. Because you want to have as many avenues as possible, so that way the tenants can pay the rent, whether it be check by phone, check by fax, credit card. They can mail the payment. Maybe they can go to your local bank branch and make the payment in person. They sometimes, if you have a P.O. box nowadays, they can actually go to the post office with a stamped envelope, and actually the post office will put the envelope in your mailbox. Those are all ways. You want to have as many ways as possible, not just stick to one way. Another thing is to send rental statements. You want to send regular rental statements. When they make the payments, you want to go ahead and send a statement with a receipt and showing what the next month is, maybe even send a self-addressed stamped envelope. So that way you already have something in place for them to mail the next month's payment. And that way they know that you're keeping accurate records. It's kind of like they know that you know that they know that you know. Another way is to validate and reinforce those positive and on-time rental payments. Every time you have a conversation, let them know, hey, you've been a good tenant. We always get our rent on time. You want to reinforce that. That way, it stays in their head. It's just top of mind that they don't want to mess up that good track record they have with you. And they'll make those payments on time. So again, today we just talked about how to avoid late or unpaid rent. I'm Melvin Yates with Grady Properties in Chevy Chase, Maryland. We are a full-service investment property management company servicing the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.